Former President Jacob Zuma is no stranger to the country's courthouses. His first encounter with the lower courts was in 2005, where he appeared at the Durban Magistrates Court in connection with the arms deal case. The matter went through various courts for 5 years before charges were dropped.
We have insufficient direct evidence, that is witness testimony. Our case, insofar as it relates to the Deputy President, relies largely on circumstantial evidence.
During that time, Zuma also faced rape charges. He was accused of raping a family friend, Kwezi, at his Johannesburg home. In 2006, he pleaded not guilty and was cleared of all charges. From his early run-ins with the law, Zuma was always supported by crowds outside the courthouse. In 2016, after fervent attempts by the opposition and others to get the arms deal corruption charges reinstated, the North Gauteng High Court set aside the decision to discontinue Zuma's prosecution. And 2 years later, the National Prosecuting Authority announced that 16 charges were being reinstated against Zuma, involving 783 alleged incidents of racketeering, corruption, money laundering and fraud.
To consideration of the matter, I am of the view that there are reasonable prospects of a successful prosecution of Mr. Zuma on the charges listed in the indictment served on Mr. Zuma prior to the termination of the matter by Mshe SC. As a result, Mr. Zuma's representations are unsuccessful.
Despite a bid for a permanent stay of prosecution, Zuma's corruption case continued. In May this year, he pleaded not guilty to all charges and applied to have the prosecutor removed from the case. But this was not his only court battle. In 2016, the Constitutional Court found Zuma had failed to uphold the Constitution and was ordered to pay back the money for upgrades to his Nkandla homestead. This judgment came 2 years after the public protector had found that the president needed to pay for non-security upgrades to his private home. Zuma's current woes with the law began in September 2018 when the State Capture Commission requested his response to testimony. The commission is probing allegations of state capture during Zuma's 9-year presidency. He was scheduled to appear from November 16 to 20th last year. On the 19th of November, Zuma left the inquiry without permission when Chair Raymond Zondo dismissed his recusal application. The commission then later complained with law enforcement agencies. A summons was sent to Zuma subpoenaing him to appear before the commission. Zuma snubbed this, saying he was being victimized, leading the chair to approach the Constitutional Court earlier this year to order him to attend. The Apex Court instructed that Zuma was obligated to appear and could not remain silent.
Mr. Jacob Zuma is ordered to obey all summonses and directives lawfully issued by the Judicial Commission of Inquiry into allegations of state capture, corruption, and fraud in the public sector, including organs of state.
Zuma once again refused to present himself, claiming he was being victimized. On the 29th of June, Acting Deputy Chief Justice Sisi Kampepe found Zuma guilty of contempt of court and sentenced him to 15 months imprisonment. Zuma then approached the Pietermaritzburg High Court to prevent his arrest. However, late Wednesday, he handed himself over to correctional services less than an hour before the police's deadline to arrest him. Zuma is being incarcerated at the Escort Correctional Services in KwaZulu-Natal. On Friday, the High Court dismissed his application. The former president's last hope is his rescission application to the Constitutional Court, which will be heard on Monday, 12th of July. Hasina Gori, SABC News, Johannesburg.